Hey guys, how you doing? Uncle Bob Connor here, once again with another video, and today I'm going to be showing you the NXT Stand and Deliver 2023 DVD, which is the bonus DVD disc you get with the 4-disc UK exclusive WrestleMania box set DVD. And you can only get this with that set. So if you want this, get that set to get this set, DVD. I've certainly wanted it, because I hadn't seen the full event, so I definitely wanted this in DVD. So if you want that, get that set. And yeah, it's a bonus disc you get, because you can't get this without getting that. And I've watched it once so far. And yeah, I thought it was really good. I mean, if I'm being honest, probably not as good as the old NXT DVDs where you used to get like really good, like 20-25 minutes, half an hour main event, awesome matches, where it used to be like 2.5 hour, sometimes 3 hour pay-per-view, which used to be like pretty strong. Now it's like, less than 2 hours or so, or like, not long, and the matches are they're not as good as the old NXT matches, and they're not as long. I prefer longer and better quality matches, but however, has to be said, on this particular event, there actually was some good matches, and even if they was short time, they did manage to do a lot of moves really quickly. Like, it was done, say for example there was a 15-minute match, they did their moves quite quickly, so it was okay. But yeah, there was some good standout performances and some good matches, but I think time was the issue, but anyway, so obviously the first match on the card was the women's ladder match for the Women's Championship. Obviously, 6-way woman ladder match between Indy Hartwell, Zoe Stark, Gigi Dolan, Roxanne Perez, Tiffany Stratton, and Layla Valkyrie. I think that's right, people, because I haven't got you don't get the match card list with this, so I have to refer to my memory, memorising the matches. I think that's right. And obviously Indy Hartwell won the title there, and the match it was okay, to be honest. It was maybe they could have done with a bit longer, maybe 5 more minutes, but for the time they had, I think it's like 18 minutes, I think it was, like just less than 20, but for what they did in that match was alright, actually. They all got their big manoeuvres in, and did a few things where they took a few bumps, which you have to give credit to the women for taking bumps in these ladder matches, and yeah, to be fair, they did try and do as well as they could within that time that they had, and yeah, they all hit their big moves, and there were some good spots and good manoeuvres. And yeah, it was quite alright, actually. Now, coming on to the second match, can't think of what order it was, but I'll just say that the triple threat tag team championship match between the Creed brothers, Stax and Angelo, versus Gallus, Mark Coffey and Wolfgang. Now, the main issue with this match was the time. I think they only had 10 minutes, I think, which was not great for a match with 3 teams. It should have been another at least 5, possibly even 10 minutes longer to make it really good. And they, alright, they had that time. I mean, they did it as well as they could. So, very rushed. They just went on to manoeuvre after manoeuvre after manoeuvre in this, and there was no weak points where there was chain wrestling. They just went straight onto it in action. It was just manoeuvre after move, and Angelo was going crazy. I remember in this match, he was just like just doing every move under the sun. He was going as quick as possible, just landing manoeuvres, and there was loads of double team between him and Stacks, and they were just, you know, I mean, Stacks was alright as well. Actually, he's improving and getting better, and he was doing loads of manoeuvres as well. And they was just, yeah, they was all going crazy. To be fair, Julius Creed was going crazy, suplexing everyone, and just, yeah, they was, yeah, basically they were just going, you know, as quick as they possibly could, just landed as many manoeuvres as they could within that time. You know, it was just, so you've got to give credit to them for doing that, but they just could have had longer and to do more, basically. But yeah, but what they had, you know, did well for the match, and it was okay for, you know, what it was. And then obviously in the end, Joe Coffey returned to Gallus and helped them, and then Gallus retained the titles. Now the next match, there was a tag team match for the NXT Women's title between Fallon Henley and Kiana James. Sometimes I forget the names, even though I've been watching wrestling for years and years. So it was those two versus Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn, and Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre won the titles. And to be fair, I can't remember how long they had, but quite short. But actually, I remember it's quite a good tag team match. It was not the best tag team match, but it was okay for what it was. I remember them just doing like all the big moves, and there was a few good near falls at the end, and it was actually all right. I have to give credit to all four women, because, you know, they was trying as well as they could for the time they had, and it's actually all right. You know, I'd say it was all right actually. It wasn't rubbish, it wasn't absolutely fantastic, but it was all right for what they did. As I said, they tried really hard and they landed big manoeuvres, and it was all right actually. Um, yeah, and obviously they won the titles, Alba Fyre and Dawn. So they won the titles. Now, I can't remember if it was 6 matches or 5, but anyway, the next matches, I don't think this is the right order. I'm going to have to watch this again to double check, but it was I think it's a non-sanctioned match between Grayson Waller and Johnny Gargano, and Gargano was the winner. And to be fair, the match was actually pretty good, to be fair. I wasn't actually expecting it to be really good, but they was really, really hitting each other with big manoeuvres, and there was some really good near falls where you thought, you know, it was all over, and both men kicked out of each other's finishes a couple of times, and there was hitting big manoeuvres, and, you know, hitting each other and putting each other through tables, and they was hitting each other with chairs and really taking full force chair shots to the head, because you don't really see headshots, chair headshots anymore, but they was doing that, and there was, they was really hitting big manoeuvres in this, and doing really, you know, what they could. So I really say it was about a 4-star match. Had given 5-10 minutes longer, they could have put on a really, you know, an epic encounter. You know, it could have been 5-star easily. They had to give them longer, but what they did in that was like certainly definitely a 4-star, and they both did really well. There was a lot of back and forth action, and Waller looked really good in this match. There was moments where he could have won, and he was looking really good, like he'd been wrestling for years. He's certainly going to be a major main event player by that performance. Absolutely, definitely. But Gargano won in the end, and just, yeah, it was quite good encounter. Now, I'm sure there was one. Oh yeah, I actually did forget one match. It was the 5-way match for the North American Championship between Wesley, JD McDonough, Dragunov, Dragon Lee and Axiom, and Lee won. And this match, again, like the Gargano match, this match was really, really good. 4.5 star match. This was actually really, really good. They was all just going at it. They had about 20 minutes, so they had quite a good time to do a lot of stuff. They was all hitting their big moves after move after move, and they all had their moments where, you know, each person looked good hitting their manoeuvres, and there's moments where you thought one person would win the title, then you thought someone else would, and they was hitting all the big manoeuvres. There was loads of near falls, some good some good chain of manoeuvres, a few double team manoeuvres, and they was all hitting their big moves, and it was just really just went one way and then the other way, and then, you know, it kept you guessing who was going to win. It was really good. And Dragunov, I have to say, was absolutely fantastic in this. He was like an animal. He just went absolutely crazy. He was just hitting all his moves, you know, or most of them, you know, just big manoeuvre after big manoeuvre. He was going absolutely crazy. And he looked really good in this, really strong. You thought he was going to win the title. And he was just really, you know, he looked really strong. And he was just absolutely a beast in this, just hitting, you know, big manoeuvres after big manoeuvres. And you thought Dragunov was certainly going to win the title, and then Lee interrupted it and got the pinfall and retained the title. But, you know, just credit to all five men, in particular Dragunov, great performance. But it was a really, really good match. I'd say at least 4.5 stars. If they had 5 or 10 minutes longer, it would have been epic, you know. But it was really good for what it was. Now, the main event between the main event of the NXT World Title between defending champion Bron Breakker versus Camilla Hayes, and it was probably too short. It was only up 14 minutes, no longer than 15, and I think the main issue being too short, I should say, for a main event. Probably could have been 20, at least 20. I'd say 20 minutes would have been better. But 14, yeah, not, you know, for a match that's less than 15 should be like for a weekly show, not a pay-per-view. It should be way longer. But and obviously Hayes winning the title, you know, did well to win the title, and he's obviously going to be a future massive star. And as I said, the match itself was alright in places, but I think due to the fact they didn't have like 25 minutes, 20 minutes, they were sort of like, you know, where it sort of felt basic in places where it could have been better. But I think the issue was the time, because they were thinking, you know, we've got to hit stuff early, because, you know, we haven't got long to sort of, and there wasn't many counters. They was just hitting their manoeuvres, and, you know, yeah, I mean, it was back and forth action, and they was hitting all their big manoeuvres, and there was loads of near falls, you know, and then it picked up towards the end, where you thought Breakker was going to retain the title, and obviously Williams interfered and and then Hayes countered, and then obviously delivered his finisher and won the title. And yeah, so I'd say the main event was alright, but it wasn't as good as the North American title or Waller versus Gargano, no. But it was alright. But I think, you know, for a main event, and when you compare it to previous old main events, NXT, you know, like Ciampa against Gargano, it wasn't nowhere near as good as that, but it was alright. But overall, I think it was, you know, like sort of a medium event. I'll say I could still give the event 4 stars, but it wasn't like 5s. It wasn't like one of the best ones that they've ever done, but certainly it was good in places. Waller, Waller, the Waller match, Wesley match, and the women's ladder match were probably standout matches. But yeah, it was alright. It was a good pay per view overall. Just not the best one they've done. So guys, there's my NXT DVD review on that. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more vids, and hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, take care, bye for now, see you soon.